to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Who's this? Who's that? TraderPrad, he's here. Yo! What up? Let me bring the volume down real quick. How's everyone doing? Just stuck in a little programming session, mind, mood, whatever you want to call it. Losing track completely of time, of really everything there is that we could lose track of. I don't even have time to stream right now because of the number of projects that I have picked up for myself and the number of duties that I'm doing, you know, just thanks to the AI tools, really. For the amount of work that I have picked up over here. So what you guys see me doing right now actually is testing out a software that AI has helped me code. It is pulling data from a pool of data that I've downloaded. This way I could go back and really pull stocks from any day up to 2024 that I wish. And study them. Let me quickly show you exactly where I'm going with this. So if you go to Twitter, you'll see the Short Bear, one of the most legendary traders of our generation, posted a very, very useful, one of the most informative tweet that you will find out there. And that's basically all of the top opportunities as a day trader, as a swing trader, as a trader in general, of all markets, all of the top opportunities from 2023, 2022, all the way up to current date. This is a very good practice. It kind of leans on the practice that I have, where I save charts of the best stocks on the day every single day. And where is it? Let me quickly go to all entries. Every single day, and try to make a memory bank, create a whole catalog of charts. That way we can go to them anytime we need to and reference them and learn from. But most importantly, you got to learn how to play the pocket aces, and that's what these trades are over here, and studying them. So for example, Tesla, October 2023. Pulling up that chart exactly, Tesla, October 2023. So October is 10th. What was the date over there? Tesla, October 2023 was 2nd of October. So pulling up this day's 1 minute candlesticks would be nearly impossible if you're using software such as TradingView. But thankfully, I have the data downloaded using Polygon.io. Now I'm able to analyze exactly what they were kind of talking about in these trades. For example, ARM IPO. Now, I don't really know exactly what day ARM IPO'd, although I did trade it. I don't remember what day ARM IPO'd, so I'm gonna have to go through TradingView for a second, look at what day it was. That was on September 14th, 2023. So apparently ARM IPO was a very good trade, and I want to study it. So I can type in ARM 2023, September is 11th, and what date was it? Was it 14th? So it's 14th September 2023. And now I can hit load, and ta-da! Now I have the ARM IPO. Wait, that does not look like the ARM's IPO. 14th September 2023. 2023, 11, 14. That should be the IPO. I guess it doesn't look as good as... Hey, yeah, there you go. That does not look like the IPO of ARM. Is that correct? Let me quickly look at the chart here. September 2023. That does look like the trade that I have saved here somewhere. Where is it? ARM. Huh. That's weird. It says, let's check out what day Instacart was. Instacart IPO was also something to study apparently. That was on the 19th of September 2023. So 2023, 11, 19. Let's go see. Oh, that's for cart. Instacart. 19, 11. Why isn't it loading up? 2023, 11, 19. Is TradingView lying to me? 19th September 2023. What? Oh, wait a minute. It's 09. I'm getting September wrong. That's why. 09, 09, 19. If I hit that, and ta-da, there you go. That makes a lot more sense. You can see how the stock IPO'd after 12 o'clock, around 12:30 to 1 o'clock, and that makes a lot more sense than just a straight downside move ever since the IPO period. So this was a very good trade. I actually remember trading this. I have the chart of the stock of me trading it, but I don't even remember the chart to be exact, right? But now I can pull up any day that I want to and quickly analyze. It doesn't matter if I don't have the chart on TradingView. For example, if I try to pull up that exact same day on the 5-minute chart, which would be 2023, 09, 19, and if I go to, it should block me from going there because it's too far back. The furthest I'm able to go back is up to September 2024, and that means I won't be able to study the IPO chart at all. So using tools like AI, using tools it's helping me get to places that I've never been before, just because of simple prompts, simple words, simple messages. I'm just talking to the software. and it is basically creating a back tester for me. It is creating a charting platform for me. At this point, I might not even need TradingView anymore. No, it's a lie. I will need TradingView for live, but you guys get the idea. Going forward, you guys need to learn how to use all of these tools, all of these softwares at your disposal. Otherwise, you're just gonna fall behind, and that's not where you want to be in this game. In this game, it's all about how up to date you are on AI, on computer, on tech, on gateways, on news, on earnings. You can't fall behind in this game at all, and that's what you're seeing me do basically as now I'm getting into that age point where I used to make fun of people for being a boomer. Now I am the boomer myself, who's getting old, and having to expand my horizons, expand my knowledge base. But that's a quick little example of why I was late by 2-3 minutes on the day today. But more importantly, I think you guys are wondering why I didn't stream yesterday. To be honest, I just didn't want to stream yesterday. I had nothing preoccupied. I was very exhausted. I did some yard work, and I was so exhausted. I went to go to my bed to take a nap around 6:30. I woke up at 7:30, a nice little hour nap, and I said, nope, I'm sleeping a little bit more, and I'm just canceling my stream. Hopefully you guys are not too angry about that. I apologize if you are. But thank you for pulling up today. Thank you for showing up today. I did not do much today on the market side because I was too busy with working on a couple of my other projects. As you guys saw, one of the projects just now. The other project is basically that's not it. Where is it? The other project is creating a bank of prompts to share with each other using a website called Comet Prompt Library. Still in the works, not 100% finalized just yet. Working on this a little bit on my spare time here and there. But my second project that I would love for you guys to check out eventually down in the future. So make sure you're tuned in. Turn on the alert signals, the alert buttons, and so on. And be ready for that product launch coming out very, very soon. Especially if you're a Comet user, if you're an agent browser user, you're gonna love that website that I'm building at the moment using another AI tool known as Lovable. I'm just in love with the AI tools at the moment. I'm noticing that a couple of my things are turned off. Let me turn them back on. My sponsor banner and my lower thirds are turned off. Let me turn them back on. And we're ready to go. Okay. No watch list created, but because I've been distracted. So let's quickly go through some of the hot movers on the day without even taking a look at this watch list. I already know today was an amazing day for the market, and I'm saying that with the utmost sarcasm. What a sad day on the market. Thank you, Chamath. There's no other way to put it other than saying thank you, Chamath, for topping the market out. Today was the first day in a very long time that the QQQ managed to close under the 21 or at the 21. We were almost 2 weeks in a row above the 21-day moving average. And thank you to Chamath, the top being put in, him saying that he's going to register a SPAC and start getting back into the SPAC business. Last time we did that, a lot of people lost billions of dollars. But we also had DWAC and DJT and all kinds of crazy symbols coming out to the market. Maybe that's something to look out for. But, usually signs of tops, I guess, when you see these bad actors getting into the market and looking to wet their feet, especially when they've been away from the market this whole time. If you're listening to podcasts out there, financial podcasts, what is Chamath's podcast called? All In Podcast. If you're listening to these podcasts, Chamath has been pretty pretty open about how he had no money parked in the stock market through this whole rally and was not interested because he was very worried about Trump and whatever. But now all of a sudden he wants to start doing SPACs again. So it just goes to show what a crazy market environment we've been to. It is a little extended from the 50-day moving average. The market, I guess not 50-day, the market's looking pretty healthy and pretty steady, but good things don't happen below the 21-day and below the 50-day. Thankfully, we're still quite a bit of a way away from the 50-day, about $15 away from the 50-day moving average, but could very easily pull back to that in the next few days, next few weeks, depending on economic calendar. We have Jackson Hole this Friday, where Powell Powell comments basically will also be something to keep an eye out for. At the moment, you guys have seen for quite some time, the 9-day moving average has supported the market. Then the 21-day, we bounce right off of it and then reclaim 9, keep going, and then we get below it, but then reclaim the 21, reclaim the 9, and then just keep going. Each time though, the length of the extension has been same or cutting down by half, so not necessarily an indicator, but showing you that buyers are slowing down in this area. Volume also flattening out, not really bringing in big volume candles. Obviously this is the market, volume coming in this area compared to here makes a lot more sense, but the idea is for me, this is still very much bullish. 50-day moving average is now above the previous all-time high we made in this year, at the start of this year. So if we're still above the previous all-time high made at the start of this year, I'm not gonna be screaming the doomsday on the market just yet. Once we start looking weak around this area, then we could really start thinking about, okay, is this a real top on the market, and are we going to pull back 5-10% from the market, which triggers the bear market conversations. Anytime the QQQ goes down 10% from the all-time highs, it technically triggers the bear market signals and just gives you more opportunities to buy the dips for those of you who missed out on it, right? So just couple things to keep an eye out for. It's still some time left on the market to scream doomsday just yet, so just be patient. Still quite a bit of away from the 21-day moving average on the S&P 500, even though the QQQ has touched it already, and the Dow Jones Industrial is pretty much at the all-time high. The IWM recently broke out and is currently holding above its 9-day. So you could even say maybe this is a rotation out of the QQQ, out of the big tech. For example, a lot of the big tech QQQ stocks, Amazon, Nvidia, Microsoft, Meta, push to the downside. Even Tesla, complete reversal on the day today. Maybe it's time for rotation out of those stocks and into more into small caps and so on. For example, IonQ, IonQ taking a little bit of a dive over here. RGTI, QBTS, maybe it's time to start seeing some small cap names getting activated over here, if it is for the active rotation cycle. If it's just that cycle where it's take profit cycle and sell off everything cycle, the cycle where, what's that statistic? September is the worst month for the market statistically. If that is true, then we're kind of gearing up for it. Maybe we're actually turning August to be the worst month of the year, and then we'll carry September back through to the upside, right? I'm just speculating over here, not sure if we're gonna actually play out that way, but the market clearly showing some weakness in the large cap stocks. Good to see though that the S&P 500 is not beat down as bad as the QQQ. IWM and the Dow Jones are still fairly okay, especially after IWM breaking out not too long ago. It's doing decent. It's not really giving up everything and pushing back down, and for me that seems like you know, a little bit of keeping my hopes up that the market isn't just going straight to the downside at the moment. Crypto, however, BTC USD taking another beating. Crypto going back down to the downside. That $120 bearish engulfing candle was very telling. BTC is now under 50-day moving average. Ethereum USD, for example, is holding up fairly well after its most recent breakout, but it's also pulling back at the moment. So crypto as a basket overall, not looking too good when the daddy of coins, which is Bitcoin, is not holding up. Obviously, that's not going to do favors for other coins out there either. XRP, for example, another one. Okay, couple stocks that we might want to take a look at tomorrow. Actually, let's go take a look at the stocks that report earnings, starting with AS reported today. I forgot about that. AS sold off a little bit. Okay, Home Depot reported. I know Home Depot went higher, looking good. What else? Home Depot, Viking Therapeutics. It's not Therapeutics, it's Viking Holdings. Viking Holdings, VKTX is Viking Therapeutics. They got smoked off of their earnings report or some drug news, so both the Viking names today came into play. XPEV, nothing burger overall. Tonight pre-market, we have Toll Brothers, Lazy Boys, but doesn't seem like any real name of interest. Maybe Keysight. Let's go take a look at if Keys opens any doors today. Doesn't look like it did, so sadly. SQM, did you do anything today? That looks like a good breakdown opportunity if the chart sets up, and we might just get that opportunity tomorrow. So I'll just put some alerts over here on SQM. If there is a short opportunity on this name based off of the earnings, I would love to see the stock trading under 44.60. Let me quickly go over here, make a quick new watch list for tomorrow, and type in, what do we just look at, chat? SQM. I'm looking for 46.50, 46.60 to 46.50. Show me weakness tomorrow for some possible downside. If there is support there off of the earnings report, maybe a long also to keep an eye on. But most importantly, I guess it's just gonna be the stocks that report pre-market, honestly, because those are names that we've traded before. Really quickly though, I want to see if Toll Brothers, TOL, these are your home builders. Did they make a move today after hours? Nothing burger move in the after hours. Not too excited about that one. So moving past TOL and just focusing on names that report tomorrow. Pre-market, TJX, Zim is a good one to keep an eye out for. ST Louder, TJ Maxx, TJX, ADI, that was a good one. Baidu, Futu, these are your Chinese names to keep an eye out for. Nordson, I almost thought it was Nordstrom. Pretty sure Nordstrom got bought out. A couple other stocks after hours. Looks like Walmart reports to Thursday pre-market. That's going to be interesting. Zoom Thursday after hours. That's another name to keep an eye out for. I haven't traded Zoom in a long time. Where is Zoom at the moment? Let's go take a quick look at Zoom. Where are you? Still struggling and under the 200-day. Look how many lines I have on Zoom. Insane. Okay, so that's the earnings board. Let's zoom back to the center point watch list. See if we're missing anything. Okay, maybe we need to add VKTX to the watch list because they did get absolutely slammed to the downside. Lots of the large cap stocks will obviously make it to the watch list. Let me quickly add Palantir, Robinhood, SMCI, Circle, CoreWeave, Figma, Bullish, Coinbase, MSTR, IBIT, SoFi went to the downside today. Wolf going back to the downside. That's not good. Oracle actually has a very, very good short setup setting up if it does come into play. BMNR going down with ETHE going down. We'll add SoFi in there just to keep an eye out for it. I want to talk about Roblox. I wanted to talk about Roblox yesterday, so we'll add Roblox back on the watch list for today. What else am I thinking about that I don't want to miss out? Maybe time to start throwing in the large cap names? Not yet. Let me think about some of the hot movers from the day today. Honestly, nothing really comes to the mind other than the main big large cap names, because those were the ones I was watching for the most part. So Nvidia, Tesla, Amazon, Apple, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is my watch list. Maybe we can throw in AMD, Micron if we're interested. Okay, I already talked about SQM. I kind of like that chart. If we do get below 4650, I think there's a gap fill to the downside over here off that earnings report. But if we continue to hold in this area, maybe there's the long for us to capitalize on also. TJT reports pre-market. Most of these stocks that we're gonna go through, the next 3 4 5 6 stocks actually that we're gonna go through, all report pre-market. Keeping an eye on that nice little inverse bouncy ball looking action right into 109 110 over here, possible move into 105 if we do get above this resistance pocket. So that will be pretty interesting to keep an eye out for. I'm just gonna throw a marker right. What the hell? I thought it was 109. Okay, there you go. 109, exactly 109, almost, not exact, but that just makes it even better. Not 110, but 109 on target. If we get above that, that will make it pretty easy long for me, all the way to the 200-day moving average, which is to 115. Okay, Zim. That looks like a great short if we get below that low right there, $15. Any support around $15 on Zim is just a no-brainer long for me. If the report is good, but I would much rather short the stock if under 15, looking short. If above 109, look for a long to 115. If below 4650, look short for gap fill into 42s. Okay, EL. Let's go take a look at EL. Nice little tight flag, tight box forming in this area. Resolution of that flag will be pretty important, but then you would be shorting into a bunch of upward moving averages, so a little tough shorting the stock in this zone, but still worthy to keep an eye out for the short side if we do get below the support pocket over here that I'm gonna line up right now. So that support pocket around 88, and then the next one near 84. So if we do start getting below these two little ranges that I have marked out, maybe things get really exciting. But other stocks have a little bit more room, a little bit more wiggle to go through if they do clear some of the levels we've already have on watch. So they get higher priority besides EL. However, if EL actually goes back to the north side and starts taking out some of these highs over here, that makes it very exciting. That's around $95, so $95.30 to $95.50. If we do get above that, that makes the stock a lot more exciting for the upside. Look how much room that opens up, whereas to the downside doesn't really open up a lot of room, but you might be able to get like a VWAP continuation or some other type of a trade opportunity in the middle of these ranges, or even in the downside of these ranges for a continuation trade. TJ Maxx, we'll see if you break out to a new all-time high. Pretty sure it's an all-time high incoming. What the hell? That was my alarm from yesterday. It was supposed to go off at 8:30. It's actually going off now. That's funny. That makes sense why I didn't wake up last night at 8:30. I was supposed to wake up. Instead, I woke up at 10:40 p.m. and stayed up till like what, 2 a.m. then. Pretty stupid. Okay, TJ Maxx, the market took a beating, but TJ Maxx did not budge at all. So very interesting. Nice little consolidation flag right before the all-time high, and if we do report well, obviously we're looking at somewhere above 136 on this name tomorrow. So keep an eye out for this above 136. Would love to watch for long, especially if the market starts off the day gapping down, pushing lower, and then after gapping down, pushing lower, the market is able to basically reshape recovery back up to the north side. In that case, TJ Maxx being above 136 would make it a lot more interesting, because it's showing you that it gotten above the all-time high. It is now markets also going back up, at least intraday. TJ Maxx markets also going back up intraday, and potentially that's gonna give some juice to TJ Maxx overall to continue going higher and higher with the market momentum and so on. But if the market gets dragged down, not that that matters to TJ Maxx, because they're still up 1.7%, 1.17% today. So not sure that it really matters tomorrow, but it would just make the trade even easier if that was a situation that we're dealing with. ADI, another name reporting tomorrow pre-market. Lower volume, higher price than most of the names we've just taken a look at. Baidu's in the same basket, low volume stock. But the China name, that's usually very interesting to keep an eye out for on the day trade side. FUTU, if I remember correctly, is a broker, an investment broker. So it's like their TD Ameritrade in China. Their last earnings report was a big breakout that I missed, and I was very upset about. So that sucked. Hopefully we find an opportunity somewhere here on the stock tomorrow for the day trade and for the swing trade. So those are two names to keep an eye out for. VKTX, big down day today, 40% down day. Not sure what to really do with this name. Ideally, looking for some sort of a dip buy into today's low. The stock goes into 23, it holds 23, and you're able to get long on a hold near 23 or a hold above $20. So that's kind of the scenario overall. Last month's low was 23.80, so basically 24, and today's low was 23.20, so basically $23. Anywhere in this range, I think looking long for a move into today's VWAP is not a bad call at all. But if we do start looking weak below 20, I think you're basically opening up a lot more downside on that name. Palantir, so weak today. Wow. So lots of options basically getting offside. They're getting caught off guard. And the gamma unwind is overall what you're seeing. You can see how the stock tried to hold at last week's low around 158 for the most part, and then just failed. It just did not have any buying in this area or substantial buying, and the sellers just kept selling more and more. The stock was at 170 today, and it's basically at 150 tomorrow, possibly even at 150 overnight. So let's go to the overnight market here. This is your overnight blue ocean market, and you're currently seeing the stock at 153, 154 in the overnight market. Real quick, look at that. Boom. Holding off fairly well. Maybe a long right there above 155. Low volume though. I wouldn't really be trading this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if Palantir opens up near $150 tomorrow, and that's where you're looking for a long on this name. So 150 is your inflection level. Okay, Robinhood. Keeping an eye on Robinhood, because I think a couple days ago, yesterday maybe, I think it was yesterday, where it started off the day down pretty hard. Yep, so started off the day down pretty hard and completely reversed and made a new high a day. Today started off going higher and then completely gave back both of those days gains and closed under those 2 days. So showing you that there's a little bit of weakness in this area. Market showing you that we are looking a little top heavy, and you know, possible room to the downside opening up, especially if we get below last Thursday's low, which happens to be today's low, happens to be this whole consolidation high. Getting below that would also be closing under the 21-day moving average. So I would imagine some downside opens up for Robinhood tomorrow if we're not able to hold at the very least 105. So that's on the watch over there. SMCI breaking down today below the 44.50, so continuing to stay below 44.50 is just your trigger to continue looking short on this name. So 44.50 to 45 is your ceiling on that name, but I don't think it's as high of a priority, honestly, compared to some of these other names. So I'm just gonna downgrade it real quick. Circle, these are your IPO names. Not too long ago did it IPO, and once it gets to a couple 180 days, which is your IPO lockup period, and then 90 days, which is the day the lockup for the stocks from the broker buying period. So those are your important time periods. So keep an eye out for both of those dates. However, right now the important one is, I guess, 130 on Circle. That's where the options are being priced into. Anyways, keep an eye on this stock. I think the priority is pretty high for this bad boy. I quickly want to skirt myself over to Reddit. Oh wow, what a short on Reddit over there from 250. If you guys were following me on social media, I made the post about shorting Reddit below 250 somewhere here, and there you go. There you have a monster move on Reddit to the short side. Congratulations to anyone who capitalized on it. This is first red day, second red day, possibly another red day incoming if we're not able to find buying above 230, I would like to say, on Reddit. So I'm just gonna put Reddit on the watch. I'm gonna put 230 as the inflection level. So gonna watch to see how it plays out near the 230 to 231 area. Ideally, I want to see the stock staying above 230, which means buyers are coming into this area and willing to buy the dip. If they're not buying 230 and higher, I would imagine selling closer to 230 would take me back into today's low. And then if there is a big sell-off day again, then maybe we do break today's low also. But low priority on Reddit, however. CoreWeave, another recent IPO. That's a very weak earnings reaction. It first popped up, then got below the little consolidation area. So as long as it stays below this little consolidation low, or the last few days high, I guess you could say, near the $100, that's your trigger point to keep an eye out for CoreWeave. Figma, another IPO. Bullish is another IPO. So it's just IPO gang at the moment. All of them showing you very similar charts. Bullish and Figma actually look exactly the same today, just a different time span. What a breakdown on Figma over there. Nice breakdown, decent volume, 9 million shares. Let's see if we get an opportunity on the pop. Similarly, Bullish breaking down also. What a breakdown yesterday, and then continuing to break down today. Coinbase, as the cryptocurrency market gets blown out of the waters. Victor, I told you so. I'm sorry, but now you're watching your investment really go down 30% from being up 200%. So hopefully you took some profits. This is why I say don't get married to your positions. You got to protect yourself from downside and make sure you're capitalizing on the upside. You know, I'm very happy that you were up 200% on your position, but how is that you know, anything good when you're watching your position go down 50% from the all-time highs, and you're not taking any money, you're not locking in any profits? So that doesn't make sense to me, right? You got to protect yourself from the downside too, while you're opening up the upside. So take some profits somewhere in this area. You should have taken some profits, but hey, I'm not here to teach you how to trade. I'm here to talk about the day trades that are possible on Coinbase, on MSTR. MSTR, big opportunity today if you were watching for it. Sadly, I was watching for this opportunity yesterday. One day too early. I think MSTR set up picture perfect, exactly how you want to see the chart set up, which is getting below the consolidation lows from last month. staying under it on every pop. Look at this right here, staying under it on every pop and giving you a breakdown in this area. This is where you want to be shorting on the pops closer to that area, and then adding on the breakdown, and then just riding it to the downside. $20-$30 in the money for risking what, $5 on MSTR. So what a banger short there. Had I been trading today, I would have absolutely smacked that. At least I would imagine that, you know, that's how it works out. Bitcoin, as it looks weak, getting below the 64, which is the 50-day moving average on IBIT, would not be a good thing, and that would be a short for anyone who's watching it. So $63.90, $64 IBIT, keep an eye out for that. Oracle, I'm actually going to quickly mark out MSTR for myself too. Oracle is, oh, they broke it after hours. I was watching this yesterday also, and they didn't break it yesterday. They broke it today. Similar pattern to, again, MicroStrategy. Getting below a previous daily level and staying under it on pops, at which case you just short it. That's a bouncy ball right there. You're getting a nice bouncy ball breakdown into low a day, which is what, $240, $239, and even more downside on Oracle. So both of these stocks I might just write up today for myself, MSTR and Oracle, because I was basically stocking these charts for a couple of days now. Good to see that those charts played out exactly as imagined. So any pop tomorrow into 240 on Oracle and staying below that, possibly a day 2 short to keep an eye out for, as all of the AI unwind is starting to take place. SoFi, I saw Investors Underground was heavy short SoFi today, but I don't really see the reason why on SoFi that heavily. I'm gonna not worry about SoFi at all tomorrow, honestly, because that chart doesn't look the cleanest. Roblox, because of my personal bias, and finally my personal bias is being proven right by news articles and YouTubers, so that's good. But the question is there selling tomorrow? And you know, only time will tell that. If we do get a pop and failure around 120 again, as you can see for the last few days, 120 has been a struggle area for Roblox. If we do continue to struggle in this area, I think looking short there is not a bad opportunity at all, because the news at the moment is not good for Roblox. Basically, PEDOPHILIEA, is that how you spell it? Cases and allegations, and them not dealing with child PORN and child SCXUALABUSE and so on. So the reason why I'm spelling it out, because I feel like YouTube has gone out of its way and flagged my videos for any time I've said those words out loud, and you know, made my channel a lot dumber and harder to be visible to people. So I'm trying to play the PG route, play the stupid YouTube game here, you know, be PC basically. Nvidia, nice breakdown on that along with the rest of the market. I think my overall spiel that I gave you guys on the market is really the only thing you need to know. Oh, one thing maybe to add to the basket tomorrow is actually a short on Rubrik. If Rubrik starts to look weak under 83, I would not love to see that, because I'm long Rubrik on my own account. But you know, a trade is a trade for the day trade basket, and if it shows up, then you know, I gotta be ready to take advantage over there. So RBRK, any weakness around 83 or below it, I'm gonna have to get ready to short that one on the day trade side. Okay, that is basically the watch list today, ladies and gentlemen. I could go talk about large cap stocks, Tesla, Nvidia, and so on, but your levels are as good as mine on all of these stocks. Everyone's basically watching the same levels for the most part. You know, go look at your moving averages, go look at your most recent consolidation boxes, highs and lows, and just wait patiently for those trading opportunities to set up. That's all I can say. Really nothing special on the large cap side over here. I see John Juan in the chat. He wants me to take a look at Boeing, and let me see what's going on with Boeing. I don't see anything too special for the day trade slide. The volume is picking up a little bit as we are pulling back, but you can see it's still in a very good consolidation area where I don't think any big trade really sets up for the day trade. Maybe something below 215, then we can talk about it, but I don't really like trading Boeing anyways, unless there's a news or you know, if there's planes falling out the sky or something, then I'll trade it. Besides that, without any real catalyst to trade Boeing, I'm never interested in doing that. I think this watch list I have at the moment in front of me is more than enough for watch list, so I'll actually end it right there and not try to create a bigger watch list for no reason, because that's a good recipe right there to ruin your day. The more stocks you're watching, the more diverted your attention and away from the names that possibly deserve your attention. You know, the smaller your watch list, the better. Make a stock watch list of 5 stocks, 3 stocks that you think will move, and then tomorrow trim those 5 stocks to 2 stocks based on the catalyst, based on the sentiment, based on the pre-market move, and so on. If you need, you could use things like AI to help you, right? Use AI to quickly analyze the earnings from all the stocks that report in the pre-market: TJT, ZIM, sorry, EL, TJ Maxx, Baidu, FUTU. Quickly analyze all of their earnings reports. Give me a sentiment score from Twitter, from Reddit. Give me a chart score from TradingView, and pick the chart that gives you the best score, and then just focus on that, right? So there's no reason to ever go out there and try to expand your watch list. It's always, as a day trader, cut down your watch list to as many little stocks as you can, but you know, make sure that you're watching the right stocks, obviously, because selection is a big point of the game. Since we do have about 13 minutes here, I want to quickly show you guys the workflow I go through when I'm writing up stocks, because I've talked about this quite a bit. So let me show you how I do it. So for example, I wanted to write up MSTR. So MSTR sets up as a daily level because that's the main context of the chart. I'm also gonna put an opening range break, a low a day break, a 9 EMA continuation as a setup tag. This is a crypto trade, so I'm going to tag it as a crypto sector, and then I'm watching it for the short side. So what do? I go to the chart, I pull up MSTR, I grab the daily chart first. Okay, first I grab the daily chart. Let me delete these 2 lines because I don't need them anymore. Grab the daily chart. What the? Okay, post the daily chart. Now grab the last 5 days just so you have a better picture. Oh, hold up, let me go to a different chart instead. Yeah, this is fine. Grab the last 5 days so you have a little rough picture of how the stock played out for the last 4 or 5 days going into this day. You're not gonna remember exactly how the last 4 or 5 days played out into this day a year from now when you want to study the chart. You're not gonna remember it. So grab the daily chart, grab the last 4 or 5 days chart, and then go back to your main layout, and then grab the 5-minute chart of that day, including the pre-market and the after hours if you want. I include the after hours, but obviously you don't have to. So grab the pre-market and the intraday and the after hours 5-minute chart, paste that. Now I go to one of the most simple clean layouts that I could find. Usually I have one, but I had to destroy my clean layout for something else. So I'm gonna make a new clean layout here, rename this as MT, and go to MSTR, move this to a new pane window below because I don't like having that in the same window. We can close this, and now I go to the 10-second chart. This is where we do the magic, okay? This is where the magic comes in, the homework. Turn off the regular trading hours. Where's 19th? Okay, so this is today. Let me just go to the 1-day chart here real quick because I need this line there. Go back to the 10-second chart. And zoom in. Okay, so now what you guys see is the 10-second chart of the whole day. Take a picture of that. Open up my tool that I use to write up charts. So this is called Greenshot. It's absolutely free. You don't have to spend a single dollar to use this. This is Greenshot. And then now just start drawing on the chart. Just start drawing on the chart of where you think you would have traded this. That's the opening range breakdown. That's another opening range breakdown. And I think those are the only two real entries that I see for myself besides that. And then maybe you could have used this little consolidation area to turn that trade into an A+ trade. So over here, you are at a B or a C risk. Over here, you're at an A- risk. Over here, you're really turning into an A+ risk, and you're pyramiding into your trade and making it a real trade, because once it breaks this low a day after the rejection of the last month's low, that trade becomes 100% confirmed. Maybe not 100, but you know, that trade over here becomes now 70% probability that it goes lower and 30% chance that it goes back up to test this area. If it does go back up to test this area, let me quickly draw out a pencil. If it does go back to test this area, the chances are it trades sideways and then breaks down later on in the day. But it didn't. It broke and it never went back up, and it just kept going lower, 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 lower. So studying charts like this, analyzing where you would have entered, analyzing where you would have had your stop, how you would have taken your profits, and just doing that again and again and again and again and again every single day, 2 to 5 times a day, 2 to 10 times a day. There was a period where I used to do this literally 10 charts a day. 10 charts a day. What was that Kanye's lyric? 10 beats a day for 10 summers. I deserve to do these numbers. That's the level of you know, work that I want to get myself into. Sadly, it hasn't been 10 years, and I've also gotten very lazy very quickly, where now I'm doing 1 chart a day or 2 charts a day. But you know, 5 beats a day for 5 summers. This is why I deserve to do these numbers. Just the plain facts. Hard work gets the dream, baby. Okay, so there's a short entry right here. There's a short entry right here for the opening range break. There's another short entry right here. There's some short entries in the pops over here, and there's a trade over here somewhere where you can turn into a real entry. So I'm just gonna quickly mark these out for myself, and I'm gonna tag them. I'm gonna tag this one as the opening range break. Opening range break should have or be with C risk. You know why C risk? Because we're still above the daily level. We're still above yesterday's low. Yesterday's low is 358. The daily level is 358.50. We're still above it. So C risk over here. No reason to turn that into an A risk. After we break the low a day with the opening range low, we break below yesterday's low, we break below last month's low. After breaking below yesterday's low and below last month's low, and reject under that on pops, here is where you can turn the trade into A- size. Okay, so put that note right there for this guy. Okay, and let me just move these lines down a bit so I can fit more notes in. Over here we want technically another opening range breakout. But now that it's breaking under the daily level and 200 DMA, this is an A+ trade here. Add for pyramid. That's it. So make notes like this. If you want, you can get a lot more in depth, a lot more in detail. Where you want to put your stops, how do you want to take your profits, how do you want to trail your profits, and so on. Be as detailed as you can in your notes, and then boom, save it. And then study it tomorrow, study it a week after, study it at the end of the month. Just because you've thrown it in the chart doesn't mean the job is done. You have to review it, you have to go through it. That's something where obviously I'll be honest with you, I kind of slack on a little bit. This is also a daily level. This is also an opening range break. This is also a lower day break. See how exact same setups that we were just using on MSTR line up over here too. So let me just do this homework in front of you guys, so that way I don't have to do much homework offline, and I can just go back to playing with my AI tools again. So let me just do Oracle for you guys live, just so you guys get an idea once again of how we do these write-ups and these homeworks and so on. So trade of the day for me, Oracle. Even though Oracle didn't really have a big spike in volume, but the nice trade setup over there nevertheless. Okay, nice trade setup over there, Oracle. We're gonna put in the daily chart. We're gonna go to where is it? We're gonna go to this layout. Nope, we're gonna go to this layout. Is it? Yeah, fucking who cares? Nope, not this layout. We're gonna go to this layout. Is it this one? We're gonna go to this layout. Okay, go to this one and grab Oracle's last 5 days of trading. So here we go, last 5 days of trading. And then we're gonna go back to the main layout, grab the 5-minute chart, including pre-market and post-market. Okay. Then we go over here to this 10-second chart, Oracle, go to the 1-day chart, put in that line right there. Now we go to the 10-second again, zoom out, go to today's information, which is right there. Back out there a little bit and screenshot that, copy it, open here and screenshot. And that's it right here. This is your short. You don't do anything in this area. This whole area you don't give a shit about. Once it breaks that daily level low, pulls back and is struggling in this area, this is your short right there. And then you have that very clean bouncy ball setup and a second chance scalp setup, which is awesome. So here's your bouncy ball, and here's your second chance scalp. And here is your basically another second chance scalp over here. Technically, this is also an opening range breakout. So let me quickly jot those notes. So bouncy ball, opening range breakout, second chance scalp. Okay, yeah, pretty much got it. So this is basically a second chance scalp. Your stops are somewhere here. For this, your stops are somewhere here. This is a second chance scalp, so for you, your stops are right there. That's a lower day breakdown. So I'm just gonna put second chance scalp as the stock pulls back into daily level and is not able to stay above it at all. This would be opening range breakout / lower day, and this would be second chance scalp again. So pretty simple. Since I've been doing this for so long now, I don't really have to I feel like I don't have to put in as much detail anymore, but that's probably a recipe for downfall. You know, you want to be as detailed as you can in making these notes and making these reviews and write-ups. There's tons of reviews and tons of examples on Twitter. Just type in trade write-up in Twitter and you will get a whole binder full of write-ups out there that are doing a much better job than mine. I'm just giving you an example of how I do it. You don't have to do it like me, but you might want to think about doing it some style, because without that, you're not going to grow at all. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we're going to quickly head over to the finale of the stream, take a look at the IPO calendar. Don't see anything on the IPO calendar that excites me just yet. We are going into 20th already. God damn. Okay, August 20th, just 26th is an important day. Okay. Anyways, nothing big on the IPO calendar. Some small IPOs across the board, but nothing big. For the econ calendar, last time I checked, tomorrow was pretty dead, and it continues to be that way. Ooh, never mind. Tomorrow we have FOMC minutes. That's not dead. That's actually interesting. So 2 o'clock FOMC minutes, not FOMC rate decision. FOMC minutes, which is at 2 o'clock. They release the transcript, which shows you the conversations that they're having behind closed doors, if they're more hawkish or if they're more dovish, and so on, and how they plan to treat the how they plan to deal with the interest rates going forward. I think the last time I checked was at 82%, so we dropped back from 90% to 82% on the probability numbers, and we're still we went up a little bit from 82 to 86 over here, but the idea is, you know, we're still pricing in a rate cut no matter what. So let's see if we'll still be dancing to that same tune tomorrow around 2 o'clock or not. That's going to be important. And then obviously Jackson Hole Symposium will be starting and going all the way into Friday, when Powell will be giving us his comments on Friday. Hopefully you found today's stream informative and found some levels and some trade ideas. Ricky's in the house. Ricky, I think you're the guy who I met at, I think I met you at the recent conference, right? Yeah, met you at the recent conference. If I remember correctly, you were the guy with the nice shirt, the Asian guy with the nice shirt. Good to see you in the chat, brother. Thank you for showing up. Appreciate you for the love. Okay, let's I think call it on that one, ladies and gentlemen. I will catch you guys next time. Jackson Hole is a joke. Well, I don't want to be inside Jackson's hole, but Powell is, so more power to him. Oh, I forgot the webcam was even off today, because I've been recording a lot of videos that don't need my webcam and only need my screen. So the webcam has been off the whole day. I didn't even recognize it. Well, no face cam for you guys today, but tune in tomorrow to see my beautiful face, which I know you guys are here for 90% of the time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good luck tomorrow. Go make some money. Ka-chow! Where's my fade to black butter? There it is. So pretty good moves across the board. Tech basket. Get destroyed. Get ready for trade off of. Get ready for the watch list for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna bring in my big screen over here, back to another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.